Getting the views of our guests on the AIT report, talking about the incident that happened and how Nicki Minaj has talked about it, particularly when she was invited to the UN. Thank you so much. Our guest is Aminu Ayama, a management consultant and risk analyst. It's a pleasure to have you on the news.
Yeah, good afternoon once again.
Okay. I want to believe you listened to Nicki Minaj during her statement at the UN Assembly, UN meeting there. So, what do you make of her stance?
Well, there are two planks to look at her statement. Looking at the wider platform of the UN body that she addressed, and then the other voices, the other foreign voices, is almost the same news. You can characterize them on the same message, same agenda, and everything. She didn't say anything new. But the most important fact is that 99% of the foreign voices that are clamoring or advocating or insisting that there is a Christian genocide in Nigeria have not been to Nigeria. They don't even have a verifiable data to rely on. When you ask them, it's just the general catch phrases, jihadism, Islamic terrorism, and all of that. And I think if you go back a couple of weeks ago, there was an analyst on a sister's TV station that said he interacted with one of the groups. But when they came, they only went to Plateau and Southern Kaduna. So there's even a neglect from the part of our authorities in seeing that all these foreign observers or foreign visitors that come into Nigeria go around so that they can have a balanced view
of what's going on.
Yes.
Okay, but the argument now is whether it is Christian genocide or not, whether it is a Muslim genocide, the fact that Nigerians are dying cannot be, overemphasized. So going into that, isn't it time the government should do something about this to save lives, which is the immediate or even the primary role of government?
Yes, there has been a failure of intervention right from past governments. You won't blame it on this government. And it's like a wave. It will dip down and it will peak. Like right now with all these cocopony of noises, the attacks have kind of peaked, or incidences. And they're everywhere. But without verifiable data, I'm sure the Christians are more organized than the Muslims. If one pastor is kidnapped in Southern Kaduna, it will go all over the media and all over the world. But on the side of the Muslims, they say, we leave it to God. Nobody will even hear about it. Same thing with reprisal attacks. And most of these things are reprisals, especially in Southern Kaduna and in Plateau. But nobody gets to hear about the original attacks until when the reprisals came, because the other side has a louder platform, they have a bigger voice. So until the government really puts its feet down and see that justice is done, both for the Christians and the Muslims, anytime there's an attack. Because from the perception of a lot of Nigerians, you will agree with me, that there is no justice. You hear about arrests. Who has been convicted? In this country now, with the level of terrorism that we have and banditry, we're supposed to practicalize our death sentence. We only have it in our statute books. But all the governors are scared of using their red barrow to sign death warrants because they're scared of bizarre vans, or maybe they have some assets. You understand what I'm saying? So there's an absence of justice right from the state level. The police sometimes, even if they go to court, they need the cooperation of the DPP and Ministry of Justice. And if the governor is not amiable to prosecuting the suspects, nothing happens, and they're giving out on bail. It happened in the case of General Alkali. The suspects are out on bail. Capital offense. Nothing has happened.
So is that complicity on the part of government? And I'm asking this because only a few days ago, Nigeria lost a brigadier general.
Yes.
And it took government so long to even admit that that brigadier general is dead. The story that we hear in the news, we heard in the news even before, the insurgents made their own video public, is that he has gone back to base on foot and all of that. So what does that show about, the sincerity of purpose of government and the willpower to deal with this situation? I just imagine what would happen if a U.S. Army general dies.
Well, I think you have to separate the news mediums. As a media person, the government has its own media organs, and the military too has. The government does not interfere in how the military disseminates its information. The military has strategic reasons why sometimes they would suppress an information, because we have propaganda and disinformation from terrorist group and their supporters within the country. So I think in that small gap that the army did not come to admit, maybe they were on a rescue mission and they did not want to give the insurgents the idea that this brigadier general was missing. But unfortunately, our rogue media went to town.
Was it the media or even the insurgents themselves?
No, not conventional media.
The media,
before they came,
the
Sarah reporters
even had access to social media and were posting the videos.
Yeah, because they had access to some of our local rogue medias, in the social media space. And until we decide to regulate our social media, they will burn this country down at a point in time. On a highly secured mission with the US that you cited, I can guarantee you that the US media will dare broadcast an ongoing mission because of national interest. Does it happen in Nigeria? No. Everybody is lawless. They can do what they want, and the government does not do anything. You have an address here, AIT. They don't have an address. They are even faceless. And their reach is far and wide. And these are the people that are causing much of this damage, even the genocide propagation, or the lack of it, is all social media.
All right.
Yes.
We must thank you very much for your thoughts on this one. I've been speaking with Aminu Ayama, management consultant and risk analyst, on the statements of Nicki Minaj at the United Nations gathering. Thank you so much and have a great day.